the G-string and the French cut and those sexy underwear, they really can't hold the pad. You know, they wouldn't be able to hold the pad as good as the nice classical granny panties. Hey mommies, it's your favorite midwife at your cervix, Midwife Nelson, and I am back with another midwifery minutes. And if you're new here, welcome to the Resilient Gang. Over here I post educational videos every week, and that is normally done either on a Monday or a Sunday. I also do lifestyle vlogs, get ready with me, story time, or just anything at all that I'm in the mood to do. So today's video, I will be talking about what to take with you for labor and delivery to the hospital. And I've actually touched on this topic before, but it's actually something that I always get a lot of questions on. Persons tend to be sometimes unsure of what to take to the hospital. I mean, be it that they're a first-time mother or a returning mother, sometimes persons just don't remember what to take, or they just need a little bit of help to pack their hospital bag. And you already know your favorite midwife is here to assist in any way that she can. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So we're going to deal with the mummies first. So number one on the list, you are going to need to bring your 2 blood donor slips to the hospital with you. So during your pregnancy, while being at the clinic, the health center, your OBGYN, you would have been informed that you're going to need to get 2 persons to donate blood for you. So when those 2 persons go and donate the blood, you would then need to bring those 2 slips to the hospital with you. So you definitely need to bring your 2 blood donor slips. Next on the list, mommy, you're going to need your maternity pads, right? And preferably get maternity pads, not the overnight pads, because some persons would believe that, you know, they can bring the overnight pad, but get the maternity pads. And I would recommend that you bring at least a pack of maternity pads with you to the hospital. Do not open the pad and take out only 3 or only 2, because it's going to be used during labor and also after labor and delivery. So you need to take your maternity pads with you. You also are going to need to take your toiletries, so like your toothpaste, your soap, your toilet paper, anything toiletry. So you take your toiletries, right? You're also going to need to bring your washcloth or your rags. You're going to bring towels, you know, that sort of thing. I also recommend that, because you're going to be, for persons especially who are going to be using a public hospital, you are going to probably need to take slippers that is non-slip, non-skid, because you're going to probably need it for when you're going to take your shower. So you need a slippers for when you're going to take your shower. You're also going to need like your bedside slippers, or even if it's not a bedside slippers, if you don't have a bedside slippers, you can take a normal slippers that you will need to wear on the ward, right? You're also going to need nightgowns, and I would recommend that you bring at least 3 to 4 nightgowns with you, and preferably you should get the button-down nightgowns, because we are promoting breastfeeding, and we want when you deliver baby, you have the button-down nightgown, so you can button down and baby has easy access to do breastfeeding. So button down nightgown. Also, I'd also recommend that if you have like an old nightgown, you can take that one with you as well for when you're when you're laboring and for when you're delivering, because that nightgown that you labor in, that may get a bit messy or a bit soiled because you're in labor. So you can always use the older nightgown to labor in, right? So like that makes sense, right? You're also going to need a small basin, not a big one. You're also going to need your antiseptic liquid, so that's like the Savlon or the Dettol. You're also going to need, especially now that we don't have plastic bags in surplus, you're going to need plastic bags, and this is definitely to facilitate like your garbage or your dirty clothes, right? So when your clothes get soiled and you probably need to send those clothes home, you're going to need bags for that purpose, right? You're also going to need a fleet enema, and this is what we normally use, the midwives normally use to help mommy to pass stool out of the rectum, so we can have a wonderful clean labor and delivery. Enemas can be purchased at the pharmacy, right? It's not normally expensive. It normally costs probably somewhere from around $300 or more, but you definitely need the fleet enema. You're also going to need Inco pads or incontinent pad or disposable sheet. So you need a good amount of that. So you probably can get like a pack of that has in like 6 or 12, because we normally use those in labor and delivery. And even if all of them aren't used up, you can definitely use them like in the postnatal period. So even when you finish deliver, you can carry those same incontinent pads and put them on the bed on postnatal ward. And even if you take some home, you can also use it to put on your bed to protect your bed from any possible soil, right? So definitely incontinent. All right, ladies, just to be specific, you're going to have to take underwear. That goes without saying, but please bring some nice size underwear. So no G-string, no thong, no French cut, no mesh. Just take nice big cotton panties. So like what you guys would probably call granny panties, that's what we want you guys to take, right? Remember that when you deliver, you know, we're going to put you in maternity pad, right? And the G-string and the French cut and those sexy underwear, they really can't hold the pad. You know, they wouldn't be able to hold the pad as good as the nice classical granny panties. All right, we're going to discuss what to bring for the babies, right? You're definitely going to need your diapers. So you probably could take like a pack or like a half pack. Probably you could bring at least up to a pack that contains about 30 in it, somewhere thereabout, but you don't need to bring anything in excess, because remember that we're not going to the hospital to stay, we're not going to the hospital to live. So take things in moderation. So a diaper, you're going to need clothes for the baby. So you're going to need baby hat, baby socks, shimmies, right? And we prefer when you bring like shimmies over versus the pin-on-does, right? So when babies are delivered, as soon as they're delivered, we prefer when they're dressed in like a shimmies, because it's better, it's easier access, it's easier to put on. I mean, when babies come out, it's a little bit harder to be trying to get their hand to go through, like the onesie, the pin under, versus for the shimmies, it's easier access. And also when you put them in the shimmies, you are facilitating, you know, healing of the umbilical cord, right, or healing of the navel string, whichever one you want to call it. So, right, you're going to need receivers. And for your hospital stay, you should bring at least 6 receivers, at least 6 receivers. For labor and delivery alone, you're going to be using up 2 receivers. And my advice to you is, if you have old receivers, put one of the old receivers in the delivery bag, right? Because when baby come out, we're going to be using, midwife is going to be using a receiver to wipe baby off. So if you have an old receiver, it would be good to use that instead of using the new receiver. All right, so you know you're going to need a diaper cream. So like Vaseline can do, petroleum jelly or nursery jelly can do, Desitin, A&D ointment, anything that's a barrier cream. All right, you're also going to need, you know, most persons tend to want to dress up their babies when the babies are going home. They want to dress the baby up. So you're going to need your clothes for discharge for your baby, your nice little suit that you pick out, that you put together. For the mommy as well, you're also going to need to have clothes for discharge, right? So when you're at the hospital, they don't discharge you in a nightie or a nightgown. You have to be discharged in clothes, so make sure you have your clothes for discharge. Also for babies, please bring the names bring the names that you plan to give the baby, right? So you're going to bring name for both boy and girl. So even if your ultrasound say boy, bring girl names as well. Let's say God decides to give you a surprise and what you saw on the ultrasound is not what you ended up getting, right? You want to be prepared, so make sure that you have your baby's name and make sure that you know the correct spelling. Make sure that you check out the meaning of the name, right? So just make sure, say, you have that lock. All right. You're also going to need $200 for the registration process from RGD. So make sure, say, you have the change. So nobody come with no hard $5,000 or no hard $1,000 or no $500. Please bring exact change for RGD to register your baby. All right. This has nothing to do with the clothes or what to bring in terms of clothes for the baby, but my advice to you is bring positive energy to the hospital when you are going to deliver. Like, come knowing that you're going to deliver, you're going to have a safe and smooth labor and delivery process. Don't come scared, right? Come confident that your body was made for this and you're going to have the best labor and delivery experience. Also, make sure to start read up everything that you need to know on labor and delivery, and don't be afraid to ask your midwife, don't be afraid to ask your OBGYN about every and anything that you want to ask about. And remember to just educate yourself, right? What I find is that persons who are not very educated in the matter of pregnancy and labor and delivery, they tend to be more on the anxious side. And remember, you do not want to be anxious, right? You don't want to be anxious during labor and delivery. You want to have a clear, level mind. You just want to just bring positive energy, positive vibes, right? So mommies, stay safe, love y'all, and remember to like, share, comment down below, and if you haven't subscribed as yet, please subscribe to my channel and also turn on your post notification bell so that you will never miss when I post another video.
She's a Mona Lisa, everyone's lining up to see her. She's a Mona Lisa, everyone's lining